So, if you're a coaching entrepreneur and you are feeling stuck in your business right now, then this might just be the breakthrough that you have been seeking. So, if you are in your business and things aren't flowing quite like you'd hoped they would do, perhaps your marketing isn't converting, the clients aren't coming in, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not sure what you're supposed to be focusing on each day, and so you're feeling scattered, and things feel very stop start, like you're taking one step forward and then two steps back. So, if any of that is resonating with you, then I want to show you three stories that you may be identifying with that are perpetuating the current circumstances, that are sort of perpetuating this feeling of lack that is driving your experience of your current circumstances. And I want to look at, as I always do, what is actually going on beneath these three stories. So these three stories, if you know, if you when you hear them, just see which ones kind of resonate with you, which one lands for you, maybe more than one. But these are the three most common ones that I see in my clients. They're also ones that I'm very personally familiar with because they're ones that I've had to work through myself. So these three stories that are perpetuating a state of lack in your business are story number one: I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. So this is that constant nagging need to be doing more. So you beat yourself up constantly because you're not doing enough. You struggle to rest, you struggle to relax because that feels like you're wasting your time when you have so much other stuff that you need to be getting on with. So this constant feeling of I should be doing more, I need to be more visible, I should be sending more emails, I need to be doing more outreach. So that's the constant kind of background noise that's going on with story number one. The second story is I must be doing something wrong. So there is a right way and I'm not doing it. So the reason my business isn't flowing, the reason that, the clients aren't coming in is because I'm doing something wrong. My messaging must be wrong. I'm not doing things right on LinkedIn according to the algorithm rules or whatever. I must be doing something wrong, or I must have a block. I've got this internal block. So that's the second story. The third story that is perpetuating a state of lack is I must be missing something. So this is where, you feel like your messaging is on point, you've got a solid offer, you're doing all the things that you've been told that you need to do in order to grow your business and get clients and all of the stuff. And yet you must be missing something because it's not working, right? So there's this feeling that, there must be some secret success ingredient that all those other coaching entrepreneurs that I'm seeing out there that are nailing it, they must know it, and I need to find it. I don't have it. When you think about these three stories, that they're very much why we get drawn into all sorts of shiny marketing, right? A lot of business marketing is built on keeping these stories alive in you. But the point is, with all of them, is that they are coming from a place of lack, a belief in, a fear of, a frequency of lack. And lack can only create more lack. So, whatever action you take, whatever you do from these stories, so the doing more, the fixing, the searching for the missing piece, all of that is action taken from the frequency of not enough. And any action taken from not enough will only confirm not enough. And that's the loop that we get stuck in. And this is why every solution that you've grabbed from that place has only ever been a temporary fix. There's never been a fundamental transformation. It's why you might, if you are identifying with I'm not doing enough, you may sit down and create an action plan, a 30-day marketing plan that you're going to commit to. And it makes you feel good in the moment, but within 3 days, you've fallen off because it's the external strategy that you're trying to shift this internal state of not enoughness from. And that will never be a permanent fix. You might buy the new course because you think this is the right thing to do, whereas I've been doing it wrong, or this is the missing piece that I've been searching for. So you buy a new course, you get this burst of hope. You might even get a result from it, a new client, but it's never permanent. It's never true depth level, transformation, because then the feeling comes back, the story comes back. Still not doing enough, still must be doing something wrong, still must be missing something, because the strategy has changed, but fundamentally the frequency that's driving those stories hasn't. And underneath all of this is what I call a protective paradigm. Now, a protective paradigm is a behavioral pattern that we learned at a very young age in childhood, in an environment or in situations where we didn't feel safe. So we develop these behavioral patterns in order to feel safe, in order to feel like we have an element of control. And the job of these patterns is to give us a sense of certainty and control. And so in generating these stories, it keeps us from feeling the lack. We're avoiding the fear, we're avoiding the feeling of lack, because as long as there's something to do, as long as there's something to fix or something to find, then the pattern keeps us busy and keeps us distracted. But here is like the absolute crazy paradox in all of this, and this is where a lot of us gets really trapped. I was trapped in this for a long, long time, and this is very much kind of a trap for the high achiever. And the high achiever's pattern is one where it chases the solution, like it chases the how. Give me the steps, give me the strategy, give me a plan. But if you actually think about the frequency of how, the very question how, the frequency of how is not the same frequency as the what. The frequency of how is the frequency of lack, right? I don't have. How do I get the thing I don't have? How do I get to the place that I'm not at right now? So the question how implies in itself something is missing and I don't have it. Okay. So then the paradoxical piece is now look at the what, the clients, the income, the business that flows. We desire the what in order to not feel the lack. So look at what is actually happening here, what you're actually doing. You're chasing the thing that's supposed to end the lack through the very frequency of lack. So you're trying to escape not enoughness using not enoughness as the vehicle. So which is why the harder you chase, the harder you sort of chase, the harder you chase the how, the harder you work, the further away the what seems to get. The seeking is the lack. So the real question was never what's the right strategy? It's what frequency am I creating from? And the transformation happens the moment you catch the story mid-sentence and you recognize it, not as truth. You recognize it as, oh my God, this is the biggest lie I'm telling myself. This is the pattern that is speaking from lack. And then ask yourself, what would the next step be if I trusted that nothing is missing, that I'm not behind, that I'm not doing anything wrong, that I'm not doing anything wrong, that there is no lack? What would be your next step if you trusted that? And that is the true question, because the what you're chasing isn't a destination that the how delivers you to. It's a frequency that you step into first. The what is a frequency you step into first. That's what you're seeking. The frequency of abundance, the frequency of ease, the frequency of creativity, of inspiration, the frequency of alignment, of authenticity. Because when you step into that frequency, then the how will find you. And from there, it's the same business, but just a completely different set point that you're operating from. And that's the shift that needs to happen here when everything else can flow from. So I hope you found this helpful. Just really catch those stories if you can. Just notice when they come up. Become really sort of hyper vigilant internally. When we're in that state of lack and fear, all of our attention, all of our energy, all of our focus becomes very hyper vigilant on the external. We look at what's the perceived threat and then get really laser focused on that. In what I'm inviting you to do is actually bring your attention internally, become hyper vigilant on what is your internal experience. So what's the story I'm telling myself? What is the true essence of that story? What is the real frequency that is here now as I hear that story? If you like this video, please hit the like button so it can reach other people. If it resonates with you, I'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments below where you're at. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.